Hello guys, nice to see you here. Before we start, please let me know, can you hear me, can you see me, and for this write the feedback in the chat, and if the connection is good and stable, if you can see me perfectly, we will start. First of all, sorry for skipping the previous streams. We had the team meeting and we spent 1 week discussing our future plans, and it was the reason I couldn't provide you that streams. Okay, thanks Piotr for your feedback. It looks like everything works perfectly. So today we are going to talk about Bitcoin and other interesting markets. As usually, if you would like to get better ideas about markets which are interesting for you, write them in the chat, and I will provide you my ideas about your market, as usually. We start from Bitcoin because there were some interesting market movements there during that week, and what should we expect from this market? And we also can talk about a new altcoin season if you wish. So let me know. So let's move to the charts, and we start from the daily time frame. The daily time frame for Bitcoin looks really nice. We have something like a correction, sideways movements, consolidation. You can call it like this. We had just a good, let's say, reversal signal based on the candlestick pattern here when price bounced from 10,000 level, and during the previous streams we talk about that 10,000 level is important for the market, and we saw just a small attempt to pass through it, and the market bounced from 10,000 and moved upward. So we could say that the daily market, the daily time frame provided us a good entry level, and we used that opportunity for opening long position, and the part of trade was closed by the first profit target, but at the same time, if we talk about let's say just long-term trading opportunity, that signal also could be used, but the weekly time frame shows us another picture. And if we talk about the daily time frame, where the market is not far from the resistance zone, which is formed by 12,000 level and 11,700 levels, and the breakout, let's say, above this resistance zone can be used like a signal for buying in the long run. If you skip this signal based on this reversal on low time frames, the possible buying opportunity will be based on the breakout, because the price will come from the further upward movement. We will get a new swing high, and we will get several bullish signals from indicators like MACD histogram will be able to support this upward movement. RSI will be able to support this upward movement, and this buy opportunity really looks interesting. But the weekly time frame provides us another ideas. And for me, the weekly time frame is only the one reason why I think buying now it is a rather risky risky trading. Let's look at the weekly chart, and we see the following picture. The picture is the main thing we should draw our attention. This is, I'm talking about this candle, weekly candle. I remind you, it was the upward movement when the market tried to reach 14,000 level. Based on the daily time frame, it looks really very interesting. A lot of people started talking about new highs reaching 20,000 level very quickly. Blah blah blah, without correction, and so everything was good, and bulls showed their strength, but they couldn't fix the wick at tops, and we got it can be like a pin bar, and it is a reversal candlestick pattern, which is not which is at the resistance zone formed by 12,000 level and 11,700 levels. This zone, this resistance zone, is important for market. Just remind you one more time that when the market bounced from the support zone in February of 2018, 12,000 resistance stopped the market, and after bouncing from this zone, the market continued the falling, and we reached 3,000 level about it. So now the market reached this resistance level again, tried to pass through it, and failed. It can be a really strong signal which tells us about a really deep correction movement, which can be because the previous correction movements were not so deep, and they were like just sideways movements, consolidations before a new strong upward movements. This time we can get another picture where the market really will correct all the previous upward movement, let's say starting from 3,200, 300, and the correction can be, I won't be surprised if the market drops up to 7,000 level. If we talk about the weekly time frame, 7,000 will be let's say the perfect zone for correction. This zone will be supported by the round number level. This zone will be supported by a simple moving average with period 100, which is strong, and this zone also will be not far from the second zone, very strong zone, support zone. We talked about this zone also before. It is important. It was the bottom during several months in the past. I'm talking about 6,000 level, and you can see how the market moved above this support zone in the past also. And if the market will start the correction movement and 7,000 level won't be able or stop the market, the falling market, for some time, probably in the short run it can be like a tail touching 6,000 level, and the bouncing from this zone, let's say the zone between 7,000 and 6,000, will be good for reversal, and the correction will be completed. The reasons for such falling, they can be, if we talk about if we talk about the fundamental reasons why the market can fall, we can talk about falling. The upward movement probably was based on the news that big players they were going to join. Let's talk about Fidelity platforms here. Let's talk about Bakkt platform here. And these events, these news, they could be a really good support, increasing the demand for the market, and the market went upward only. And now it's time to just to think about fundamental supports, fundamental news one more time. Do we have a workable Fidelity platform now? Do we have workable Bakkt platform now? And what are new things, new factors which can support the market and push it higher? I don't see these reasons. If you know them, just write them in the chat and we discuss. For me, now it's just a time where the market followed the previous news, reached the top, the local top, and there are no new factors which can support the market for the next let's say wave, upward wave. If so, if we don't have fundamental support, it can be a situation where big players can start fixing profit, because the market is at the local top. Why not to fix a profit? If they start fixing profit, they will start selling Bitcoin. If they start selling Bitcoin, it means the price will move downward, and this candle, reversal candle, it can be just a signal confirming this idea that when the price reaches 40,000, big players, maybe big investors or just smart traders with big capitals, they started fixing profit, and we got this tail where the people, these players, fixed profit, and the market moved downward and dropped below the resistance zone. So, what's next? Here we can also pay attention to indicators. If you look at RSI, we still are in overbought zone. It means that the market is overbought, and you can see in the past, yes, the market was overbought, but it could move upwards all the time. Even the market was overbought, and it can be like not a solid signal. But at the same time, I should say that overbought market always provides additional risk. If you buy on overbought market, you must be ready that correction can be started anytime. So that's why when we talk about buying based on the current levels, it is high risky trades anyway. If you would like to buy based on the solid signals, based on the solid signals in the long run, for you the perfect conditions will be like let's say here, when the market reached the oversold zone. We got the market which was ready to start the upward movement. We got the reversal signal from strong support line. It is a simple moving average with 200 period, and this zone was the perfect one for buying. Here I would like to tell you that we opened not risky trades, because the market had been falling for 1 year around it. The market became overbought, oversold, and we got reversal signals from solid uptrend line, which where moving average represented it. Now it is another situation. This situation, when we talk about buying, it will be close to this setup. where the market also was overbought. It was after a strong upward movement, and you can see what risk you can meet if you buy overbought market. So there are past you can find past performances which will just come from this idea. But this example, it will be also a good example for you, where you can see that buying overbought market where the price moved too far from moving averages, where the market and the true value of the coin was not confirmed by any fundamental factors. The market was also only overbought. We didn't have anything solid behind the coin which could support that prices. The same we can see in this time, and that's why. That is the main reason why I won't be surprised if the price will drop. Also, I think it can be like a panic sales if price can start, if the price can break 10,000 level, a strong support zone, and just not educated traders with not so good experience, they will see the falling market and they start closing their long position, pushing the market lower. Based on the weekly time frame, I would like to tell you about bearish signals, solid bearish signals, which can push the market lower. If we look at if we look at the monthly time frame, I also would like to remind you how many months we moved only upward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 months we move only upward, and it can be like additional signals telling us about possible correction month or maybe several months if we don't have fundamental support. So the daily time frame, we can if it's okay for you to take part in such risky trades, if you don't want to skip a possible upward movement, because Bitcoin can provide you unpredictable upward movement anytime. We saw it many times before in this year. We saw that sometimes upward movements can be far from the logic, but still we must be ready to see that the weekly bearish variant will be destroyed by a new quick and strong upward movement. It can be manipulated movement. It can be a movement based on just some news. It doesn't matter. If you don't want to skip such possible upward movements, it's possible to put a buy order, pending buy order, above 12,000 level, above this local swing high, above the resistance level, and try to catch this upward movement. But I forget to tell you one important thing. I share with you only my ideas. Trading is risky, and only you can be responsible for your trading results. I provide you the idea about possible buying, but again, it will be really risky buy opportunity. If you want to use stop orders, you will need, and it's better, of course, to use stop orders. You will need to put them here, or even maybe below simple moving averages, in order to get additional support, additional protection between your stop order and the market price. But at the same time, if you would like to get a good risk-reward ratio, this stop size and this entry level above 12,000 level, it will need you to place your profit targets something like at 70,000 level and 20,000 level, just in order to get a good risk-reward ratio. But probably before reaching the first profit target, the market will show us sideways movements, correction movements, and your stop orders will be reached without any problems, because they are not far from possible zones where the market will be able to correct the previous upward movement. So it is just additional reason to talk about high risky buy trades now. Also, we need to talk about just a variant where you buy. It's possible, of course, it's possible. I don't recommend, but it is possible. And in our community, we got some profits from such trades. I posted maybe 1 year ago when market moved at 6,000 level. I place long-term positional trades where I didn't use stop order. The idea was simple. We buy based on the current prices without stop, but invest small part of capital just in order to be in the market anyway. If you skip a reversal, if you skip a quick upward movement, you could be with that buy position, which are just worry about 5 maybe 10% of your capital. You didn't use stop orders and you didn't use leverage for buying. I don't remember exactly the dates of the trades, but they were something like at 6,000 levels, and they were based on reversal signals and for the long run. Market dropped. We stayed with the long position during all these periods, and when the market reversed, so we were with long position, and the market reached profit targets. The same variant can be used also in this case. If you don't have any position with Bitcoin, and if you believe in great potential of this new market, and still the market has potential, because we are talking about a new market, unregulated market, where there are no big players, really big players, where we have a lot of potential for growing, and from this point of view, we can have some coins, and the main question will be how we will manage risk properly. And it's possible to buy without stop orders, just in order not to catch them during a possible correction movement or possible drawdowns. But at the same time, we must not use leverage, because if you open a long position without stop and with leverage, you will be able to blow up all your money, and it can be even if you use a big capital, it's also will be possible to blow up big capital too, because we don't know where the market can be stopped and reversed if it will move in correction. That's why it's better to use, for example, 5, maybe 10%, if you don't have any position in Bitcoin, up to 10% of your trading capital without margin, without leverage. It's possible to buy or place pending orders about this 12,000 level. And if the market will continue their upward movement, you will be opened and you will stay with some position. Even if the market will continue the upward movement to the previous local highs at 14 levels or maybe higher, to the targets we talk about, like 17,000, 20,000. Or if the market will just bounce from 14,000, the previous level where we got the correction, and continues falling, you will use this. For you, it will be opportunity to get new trades, to add more volume, and build long-term positions based on different levels, and you will invest properly. So again, here we talk about proper risk and money management, and of course we talk about just simple trading without leverage, and with the idea that possible corrections will be used for adding additional volume. If we talk about lower time frames, like let's say 4-hour time frame, we can talk about following situation. Again, the market moves upward. We can support this upward movement by this uptrend line. We can say we have something like a triangle, but I don't like this triangle because it's not so good, but still it's not perfect, but it can be used like a triangle. I see your questions. I will reply just in several minutes. We talk about a possible triangle, as you know, triangles, they can be like reversal patterns, chart patterns, and they can be also patterns confirming the further the previous trend. And where will it be a reversal pattern, or it will be a continuation pattern? It will depend on the side of the direction of breakout. If the price breaks this level, the pattern will be the continuation one, and also it can be like a signal for maybe medium-term trading. It will be possible to try. It will be possible to catch the upward movement based on the breakout, and the main target for this breakout will be this resistance zone based on this swing high. It is 13,450 level. Here you can fix the profit because the zone can be can stop and reverse the market like it was in the past. And this trade is let's say medium-term trade. If we talk about when we talk about the daily, we talk about long-term trading. Here it's better to use stop orders, which can be placed below the uptrend line and let's say the previous swing lows and simple moving average with 100 periods, 50 periods. It can be like stop at it's better to put it below 11,000 level, and the main profit target will be not far from 14,000. If this idea won't be profitable, and if the market just provides us a fake breakout, you will be closed by stop, and it will be like an additional signal confirming that the market is going to reach 10,000 level one more time and probably break it and continue the downward movement following the weekly time frame and signals from the weekly time frame. For medium-term trade, I would like to recommend only trades with stop loss, because when we talk about long-term trading, market has potential and you can wait for a long time and you can place good targets at the previous historical highs. When we talk about medium-term trading, the idea of medium-term trading is try to catch just swing movement, fix profit, and wait for new opportunities. It's not a good idea at all to stay with your medium-term trading for a long period of time. If the market provide you a fake breakout, you open your trade, and after that the market continues sideways movement or maybe falling. It's better to close this trade and search for new buy opportunities. Also, this buy signal will be risky because of the weekly time frame and potential the potential of bears who can push market lower. I don't have any reasons to move to look at the 1 hour time frame, as the 4 hour time frame provides us this chart pattern, and it can be used for buying. As for your questions and the question from Piotr, what is your opinion on S&P markets? We will discuss it about the breakout 3000 level. So yes, let's focus on crypto markets now, and after that we will move to another markets. Neo, EOS from Maxi. These markets, let's look at them. EOS, just remind you one more time. I read some ideas that if Bitcoin starts falling, it can be like a signal for altcoins, and they will they will start altcoin season. I have a lot of questions to such a point of view, because we all know that all crypto markets are too correlated, and a lot of them, if we talk about just the main trend movements, all of them try to follow Bitcoin, the main market. So if Bitcoin starts falling, I guess altcoins will follow it without any problems, and I don't have any reasons. I don't have any fundamental factors which can support altcoins. When we talk about Bitcoin's upward movement, we can see a huge interest and new opportunities for a wide range of new players who can come, invest money, and push price higher. When we talk about altcoins, it can be based only the community of crypto enthusiasts who will just follow these markets, who can support these markets, and just because these markets are very small, just buying and trying to make some profit in different markets, not only in Bitcoin. This behavior can push some altcoins upward also. But when Bitcoin falls, I guess it will be really solid signals for the whole community to be careful, and altcoins also made some upward movements, and they are not at a really good and solid positions just in order to buy them and hold them just for some time. That's why I don't believe too much in new altcoin season. And if we talk about altcoin trading, altcoins markets, also don't forget to use your capital properly. Don't forget about risk management and money management. Because Bitcoin looks really solid markets with good and stable uptrend in the long run. Altcoins don't look like this. If we talk about years markets, the price forms something like so. If we talk about signals from charts, the market forms the downtrend because we have fallen swing highs and we have fallen swing lows. Two highs, two lows, and we have a signal confirming the downtrend. If so, we can draw the downtrend line connecting these two swing highs, and for us the market will be, let's say, in correction, or the market will be in a bearish trend until the price will be able to break this downtrend line. If we talk about trend direction using simple moving average, the price is at simple moving average with 100 period, and it can be like we still have some correction movement, and the price can bounce and provide us a buy signal. But at the same time, you can see that Bitcoin moves upwards. Just it can be side movements with short-term upward movements, but this market just it shows sideways movements in at a possible support zone formed by, we talk about 6 level like a good support zone based on the past performance. You can see how the market acted at this level in the past. Several times bounced from it, and it was a good resistance level. After that, this level acted like a good support level. Now the price consolidates at this zone, and we are going to have a pennant chart pattern, which tells us about the continuation of the previous trend. And if the price breaks this line, support line of the chart pattern, it will be possible to see the falling to the next support zone, and the next support zone will be, let's say, here. It is also good. It is solid support zone at 4.50 because it acted like a good support in the past several times. Here, it acted as a resistance zone several times too. It acted like a support zone again, and now it will be good for stopping the falling market, because this zone will be supported by simple moving average with 200 periods, just one of the main, let's say, the main uptrend line, which we could draw in the past in the beginning of 2019 year. And altogether they create for us a very interesting support zone, which can be used for buying based on the reversal signals, and this zone will be good. When we talk about just getting additional signals confirming that the market is going to move higher, it's better to wait, of course, the breakout above this downtrend line, because now just if we use only signals from charts and the price action, the market is in the downtrend, and buying in the downtrend, you should do it based on the breakouts above the trend line. So it's possible also to use the reversal signal for buying just one part of your trade volume for this market, and the breakout signal about the downtrend line. About the downtrend line, you can use like additional part of signal for the second part of your trade volume for this market. But now the market doesn't look very interesting, and if Bitcoin continues, if Bitcoin starts falling, I think 4.50 level will be reached very quickly. About the next market from Maxi Neo, I guess we will see closely the same picture. Not the same, but the market also looks not so good for buying, as we have the support zone lower than the current price. The market still has some space for falling. At the same time, we have it's not the perfect. It looks like a pennant, but bullish one pennant. But I don't like these tails from these candles. But still, we can think about this chart pattern, which also tells us about the continuation of the uptrend. For getting buy signals based on a pennant, we need to get the breakout above this resistance line. But again, probably the market will reach this the first support zone formed by 15 level, simple moving average 50, and we will get the reversal signal, which can be used for buying. Also, if we draw uptrend line using this swing low and using this swing low, we will have again something like a possible zone for reversal based by 15 level, support level, simple moving average with 50 period, and the uptrend line. Breaking below will open the road to the next falling, to the further falling, and the market will be able to reach even 12 or 11 levels, where you also should search for possible buy opportunities. But now, market for staying away and thinking about possible breakouts. But again, if the price will break this resistance line and it confirm the pennant pattern, I would say not to risk too much, because the level won't be good for buying, and good level for buying, they are two here in this market, at 15 zone and let's say at 12-11 zone, and nothing more. In other questions from Marin, what about yours? We talk about it on the daily time frame. Looks like it is at the bottom, ready to go up. And yes, it was. We talk about it. It is at a possible support, but the market has potential for falling lower. On the other hand, it is highly correlated to Bitcoin. I am absolutely agree with you. So if BTC is going down, would be logical yours to follow it? Yes, we talked about it already, and I support your way of thinking. Hello Zerakesh, will you please analyze 2-week charts DMI? It looks like the market is turning bearish. Bitcoin. I know that you like weird time frames for working, but what I should say, if we have bearish signals, you will find them everywhere. If you try to use not popular time frames and get signals, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. Probably they are not so clean for for other players, and it can be just the reason why they won't work perfectly. If we talk about weekly time frame, you talk about. By the way, do you have any ideas how to switch to 2 weeks in the settings? I guess. Hold on. I didn't use non-standard settings and time frames. That's why it will be great if you can tell me how to switch. It should be like this. Trades alerts. But anyway, uh, you you talk about bearish signals, and these bearish signals they come not only uh, from your time frames like 2 weeks. If we talk about 1 week, 1 week indicators, and if we talk about well, let's say DMI indicator, just a second, I will show you how to move it higher. First of all, MACD histogram. We will see how it will be closed during this week. In this week, if we get just a new bar lower than the previous one, probably it can be like a signal, as an additional signal telling us about possible falling. In spite of MACD lines confirm strong upward movement, we know MACD lines, they are lagging, they provide lagging signals, and we need to wait for some time when MACD lines will be reversed. But MACD histogram, it is a rather quick indicator, and the signals can be really at possible tops and bottoms. If we talk about DMI and ADX line, based on the weekly time frame, ADX line, which is the blue one, still confirms the strength of buyers. It confirms strong uptrend, and it can be like also one of the most, let's say, strong disadvantage of DMI indicator. It is also a lagging indicator, and you need to wait for a really just good period of time in order to get reversal signals from DMI. And especially from a DX line. When we talk about DI plus and DI minus, DI plus line, which is bullish line, it falls, and at least it can be a signal, the first signal about a possible correction from DI indicator. If we talk about weekly time frames, yes, we have bearish signals. If you, Zarakush, can write how you switch your, how you set up your, oh, maybe like this. Oh, I guess I find it. So don't write it in the chat. How to switch between different time frames. If we talk about 2 weeks time frame, Yes, we have another type of chart, and because we use another type of candles, and based on these candles, we have strong upward movement, uptrend. But what does it mean? It means nothing. Because the majority of people will use weekly time frame, and they will see just weekly, daily signals and follow them. Then just 3 days charts, two weeks charts, and something like this. Yes, the market based on this time frame looks more bullish. And where you talk about has ADX line has turned flat. Are you sure that you use ADX line with the default settings with Bitcoin based on 2 weeks? Because my DMI indicator and ADX line confirms the strength of buyers and the trend market conditions. So let's move to the next question. I've noticed from Myron again, I've noticed that almost all the time EOS flat, EOS BTC and BTC flat. Okay, what can I explain? We talk about just crypto markets where you can't use different markets for trading. Mainly, you trade one market and you trade Bitcoin. The thing is, the main thing is Bitcoin, and other markets. They are very correlated with the main market, Bitcoin. For some time, maybe for let's say we have different types of correlation in Forex. We have different types of correlation, let's say, between indexes and some stock markets of this sector. But that type of correlation still allows to trade in different markets. When we talk about crypto, mainly you have Bitcoin and all markets follow it, and it means if you buy Bitcoin and you have other position on and if you want to trade other markets, you will also have a lot of buy signals, so you also buy altcoins. The difference can be only in the size of movement, because markets can move with different speed. The markets can move on different size of percent, and it can be like the main difference. If we talk about coin against fiat, for me this market is just the main market for trading coins, because you can see exactly what how coins increase, how coins change their prices. When we talk about coin against coin, we can see only the changes between two different coins, and their movements will be let's how to say it in English. The difference will be just, if we talk about EOS and BTC, we will see the movement in EOS and BTC market only if we compare the size of changes in EOS USD market and BTC USD market, and if we just compare the size of falling or rising in that markets where we have coin and fiat. Your ideas about that, based on this calculation, I don't think they just so relevant and represents the real picture, because for making such conclusion you need to get a really solid data, And based on this solid data, you can just make such possible conclusion. I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of trading, which makes everything much more complicated. Uh, if we talk about crypto trading, it's better to focus on coin fiat pairs because they are more predictable. They can provide you better understanding what will be with coin. Will it be increase in price or will it be decrease in price? If we talk about coin fiat trading, you can fix profit just closing the pot, fixing the profit, exiting in stable coins or in fiat. When we talk about coin trading, you need to look at additional markets in order to get better understanding. And another reason is coin fiat pairs, they can provide you better movements than just coin market. So from different points of view, coin fiat type of market looks much better, and I don't see any strong uh, correlation maybe between markets which you wrote in the chat. EOS fiat, EOS BTC, BTC fiat, EOS Ethereum, and Ethereum fiat. This type of information, how you can use this type of information? You have a really good space for making wrong conclusions, because your combination of different markets looks really very complicated, and it is a good opportunity for you. Just maybe you can make one mistake in one market, just getting wrong signals, and all your ideas will be wrong. They can become wrong. From this point of view, in order to avoid such a situation, it's better just only you see euros against fiat, you see markets and charts, Bitcoin against fiat, you see Ethereum against fiat, get signals from them. You follow the main market, Bitcoin, because you know that they're very correlated, and you use and follow that signals from from these free markets, without without an attempt to combine them all together. Uh, about from Piotr about Facebook Libra. What is your opinion? I don't know too much about this market, but what I like, we talk about a big project. When we talk about any shitcoins, and when we talk about even some of altcoins which are not top, how we can measure that they are reliable? Just one of the reasons, we need to look at the projects which are behind them. And if we talk about Ethereum, there is just a solid project behind it. If we talk about EOS, okay, we can also say something like we have a solid project behind them. But the majority of other altcoins, and especially shitcoins, where we have a lot of, we had a lot of scam projects. Of course, these coins, they had nothing behind them solid, and that's why it was risky to trade shitcoins in that time, especially when the markets were bearish in 2018. We also could see that projects without good ideas, without solid ideas, they had problems with clients. They had problems with income, and it was additional risk and pressure for that coins. When we talk about something where we would like to, where we want to invest, we must think about possible risk, and we have to think about how reliable this coin market is. And of course, if we talk about coins which are a part of a project, we have to look at the project. Facebook, it is a solid project with billions of people involved in this project. It is good from a financial point of view project. So if they start a new coin, it can be really very interesting market for investing. It can be good and interesting in the long run, and it will be like the same story like with Telegram coin, where we have project behind it, a solid project, and the coin can be popular, and it can be interesting for investing, for buying in the long run. Of course, everything can be, and even big company can just destroy a good idea. It's also possible, but we have less chances for this, especially if we compare, let's say, Facebook with a great number of different projects which appeared in 2017 when we had hype. Just everyone was going to create something for crypto, and we could see a lot of projects with just very weak ideas, and any mistakes in management, any mistakes in marketing, any mistakes in planning, in business planning, they could be a reason just for destroying the whole project, and investing in such markets, of course, could give you only negative emotions. But Facebook looks interesting, and maybe it will involve more people in crypto trading. Maybe for a lot of people, Libra will become the entrance in the crypto world. Maybe. So, it's just my opinion. Uh, Maybach asked about Ripple. Do you see any future in this crypto? Is it worth holding for the long term if my buying price were near 0.30? Let's look at the Ripple, and let's talk and maybe discuss one more time. We have thousands of coins. Do we need such numbers? I think no. Uh, we can compare crypto markets with stock markets for different reasons. But when we talk about stock markets and thousands of markets where you can trade, we have just thousands of companies trying to build business where you can see benefits for all. Just some company produce some products, some companies produce some goods, and more companies, more good companies, everyone will get benefits from this. When we talk about crypto, and we talk about poor infrastructure around the crypto. Okay, some companies can create this infrastructure. Some company can create products based on crypto. Okay, it's okay. But I guess we don't need thousands of coins which can match all our needs. Maybe 100, maybe less, maybe a little bit more, but not 1,000. And from this point of view, we also need to think about such things. Crypto market is really small if compared with stock market, and in order to get benefits from any not popular, not famous, let's say not Bitcoin and not top altcoins market, a lot of people must see benefits from investing in this coin, and only it can be a catalyst for pushing the price higher and providing you opportunities to make money. That's why investing, especially in shitcoins, it is really risky and can provide you so many additional problems with exiting from your trades, with manipulated movements, and I don't see any reasons. Oh no, I see. There is only one reason. I guess you want to invest in shitcoins only because they can provide you hundreds or maybe thousands percent of profit. Again, you think about profit only, and it is not the right approach, and in the long run, mainly it is the main reason when you focus only on profit. It is the main reason for failing and for losing savings and capitals just very quickly. Believe me, and believe my experience working with feedback from thousands of followers who share their experience investing in shitcoins and investing without thinking about risk management, money management, where they focus only on profit size. Shitcoins can provide you only additional risk and yes, some potential profit, which can be high. But again, if your capital is big, probably you won't be able to exit and realize your profit from that movement, because low liquidity markets, they are not so good and stable for trading. When we talk about solid market like Bitcoin, you won't be able to get hundreds you can get maybe thousands of profit in short term or medium term, but at the same time you can get a good profit investing in solid market, which is interesting for big players from traditional markets. Bitcoin is famous and trusted. Bitcoin is solid, and Bitcoin has liquidity for trading and for fixing profit, for buying, for selling. It is good, and from my point of view, Bitcoin is just the perfect variant for investing money, especially if you want just to invest money for 1 to 3 years and just do nothing with this money. When we talk about additional markets, altcoins, some of them also can be used for trading, like top altcoins. And if we talk about Ripple, I guess we had better support for this market before 2018, when this market made historical high. We could see just really good news about this coin, interest from big players, and it was just like a market which can provide you really good income in the long run. But 2018 changed a lot of things, and after that bearish period, I'm not sure that Ripple will be really good in the long run, like Ethereum Classic, like Litecoin, like any other coins, let's say from top 50. If you hold this market, it's possible, of course, to hold this market, but I think the best investment and the most part of your capital should be invested, the, the bigger part of your capital, if we talk about the capital for crypto only. I think it's better to invest in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin trusted, it is popular and good market and solid market for trading. With playing with altcoins, it can be done also, and Ripple can be just one of the markets, because it is also has some past performance history, and maybe it has some fans who can support this market anyway. So from this point of view, yes, the part of capital can be invested. And if we look at this market now, we can see just the local support line formed by 0.38 level and 100 periods simple moving average. Market moves, if you look at the market movement, it looks in the sideways. It looks sideways. The price is at the possible support zone, so it can be used for buying. It can be used for buying, and the idea will be that the market will continue at least the sideways movement. If you buy here, based on the current prices, your profit should your first profit target should be here, or the main profit target should be at the resistance zone, and 0.48 level is, or we can combine it with the 0.50. It will be the resistance zone. It can be used as the main profit target. If the market bounce, okay, you fix profit here, and just for you, new buy opportunity will be again from the support zone. But if we talk about if the price breaks this resistance and continues the upward movement, you can just keep the part of your profit, the part of your trade volume for the higher targets. And this signal also can be used for buying in case if you want to just join a possible upward movement, uptrend, which can be based on the weekly, not the weekly time frame doesn't provide us the uptrend. We have sideways movements, and it also can be like a confirmation of my previous message and the previous idea that the market is not so interesting for the wide range of crypto enthusiasts for investing like it was in the past, because you can compare the past movements. They were strong, they were solid, and they were good for making profit. And before it, we saw also boring sideways movements. Maybe it is just the nature of this market. Sometimes you face with really boring sideways movements, which can give you maybe just small profits, and still, if you like this market, just because of your personal reasons, here is just a possible opportunity to buy. Of course, if you want to buy, you have to use stop orders, and for you it's better to place them, let's say, below 0.36, below this support line. It can be like this, or it's better to put them below also simple moving average with 200 period. If your entry level is at 0.30, and you didn't close the part of profit here, probably for you it can be just a variant to stay and hold your position with the first target at 0.48, or maybe you need to just fix the part of profit here and the second part of profit here in order to exit from this market and focus on really solid and reliable markets like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, first of all. Also, it's possible to do nothing and just put your stop into break-even and wait for possible for further market movements. But also, this market can show you the falling if the price breaks this support zone at 0.37. In such way, you will just exit from this market without any profit, but it will be also a nice variant, a good variant. But again, don't focus on profit only. Trading, it's not about it's not about profit. Trading, it is more about risk management, money management, and profitable trading in the long run. If you risk only on profit, you have really good chances to fail very quickly, especially if you don't have knowledge and if you don't have experience. About other questions. Do you expect? Sorry, I don't know how to read your nickname because I don't know this language. Do you expect Bitcoin's dominance to kill altcoins in the future? I think we have a less number of hello Nicholas, nice to see you here. I think we will see less markets in some time because a lot of useless projects will disappear. As a result, a lot of useless shitcoins also will disappear, and we see really interesting markets which will have something behind them. And I mean interesting markets, I mean coins. I think Bitcoin will keep the role in the future because again, if we talk about investing, big players and smart traders and smart investors, they would like to take part and invest in markets which are reliable, which have something behind them, which are solid, and from all these points of view, Bitcoin, of course, it is the most interesting market. Maybe Ethereum, maybe some other coins, maybe several, will increase the volume in the crypto space, but I can't say it will be like this. It's just an opinion from my side. I'm sure in Bitcoin that it can be the main market, the main crypto market for investing, only because it has a good reputation, and it is the market which can be used for investing big sums and from big players from the traditional markets. That's why Bitcoin looks really solid and interesting for investing. Again, crypto markets are not so good for short-term trading. They're not so good for medium-term trading too, as there are many unpredictable and manipulated movements. But for investing, especially if you could bought your Bitcoin at previous bottom, let's say it was something between below 5,000 level. For investing with such entry levels, this market can provide you really good income. So about Bitcoin we talked a lot. Let's move to another market, and from Piotr we need to talk about S&P 500, and just a second, we can talk about this market as it made the historical highs, and it is not far from a possible resistance zone. 3000, it is the round number level, and it means that it can be a barrier for the further upward movement. If so, we can use this opportunity for shorting, mainly because the market made good upward movement. It made the historical high, and probably we need to have some break for this market, and it can bounce to the previous important support levels, just in order to provide us new buy opportunity. Buying now at below the resistance level, it's also a mistake, and from this point of view, it's better not to think about long position at all. Now we can see that price reached the level. We got open price below it, and without even an attempt to touch this 3000 level, and maybe to try move above it for at least short term. No. The market couldn't do this, and probably we will see the falling after, and this will be a swing high, a local swing high for us. At the same time, you see, it can be like following. It can be an attempt to break this level, and we will see just closely the same structure. There we will be where we will see fake breakouts, because this zone will be good for placing stop orders, and for those who would like to short this index, they will be able to get positions from using stop orders of sellers, and we will see the falling to the local support line, which will be formed by this swing high, these swing highs, and these swing lows, and this level will be like 2920-35 between this level, where it will be possible to think about buying with again with main target at 3000 level. For selling, for buying, 3000 level will act an important role, because it will be like a profit target for long position. It can be like a level for placing stop orders for selling. For the market, it is an important level, as it is round number level. It is a new historical high. And of course, fundamental factors will be important for this market, as it is, especially if we talk about president election during the next year in the United States. Mainly, such event is important for USD dollar. As a result, we can see the impact of this news on forex pairs. Of course, it will be for indexes from United States like S&P 500, Nasdaq, Dow Jones. But again, how it will be? It's better to wait for at least maybe the end of this year, just in order to get a better understanding about the position of Trump, how it will be. Just trying to predict possible the way of possible election results in the next year. But now it's not a good time to just focus too much on elections in the United States. It's better to focus on just local fundamental news, which can cover the situation in economy, and this information will be more helpful for predicting possible price movements in this market. From technical point of view, the market is at the top, at possible top. We have the strong resistance level. It's possible to think about shorting, and for shorting it can be really good because we can get a good risk-reward ratio. We have to place our if we place our stop orders above 3000 level, and let's say we can use a low time frame for getting better entry level, or it can be like, let's say, the entry level can be, for example, we have this uptrend line, local uptrend line, sorry, just a second, based on 1 hour time frame. And let's say if price breaks this local uptrend line, it can be a signal telling us about a trend reversal, a possible trend reversal, if we use only swing highs, swing lows, and technical tools like trend lines and levels. So short position, they can be opened based on this breakout. Stop orders you put above local swing highs, and it will be above 3000 level. And profit targets can be done based on 1 hour time frames also. You will have possible support zone here, where the higher time frames can provide you, or also 1 hour time frames can provide you a possible buy opportunity based on the reversal signals. So if you short, this zone can be like the first target for fixing profit for short trades. Or if the price drops below it, the next level can be like 2870 or even 2800. Also, yes, it will be possible because it will be below these simple moving averages with 50 and 100 period, which forms the support zone. And if the price can break it, the next will be not far from 200 periods, simple moving averages. So it will be logical. But at the same time, think about possible buying, as the market is in the uptrend, and we don't have any solid news which can push the markets this market lower. As I remember, the conflict between United States and China, they try to solve this conflict, and it can be a positive news for indexes and for United States economy. So the short-term correction with bouncing from one of possible support zone and the continuation of the uptrend with breaking above 3000 level, it can be like a possible and workable variant for trading. So about this market, with I hope I provide you reply on your question. As for as for other markets, what markets are interesting for you? Any other markets? We can discuss them also. Please write them in the chat. If not, if you don't have such markets, I think we can finish this stream, as we have 1 hour and a half talking about crypto markets mainly and index. I didn't find for you just interesting markets from stocks and Forex, and maybe during this week we will get interesting possible trading opportunities, and we will talk about them during the next Monday. I would like to tell you that this Wednesday I'm going to make the webinar replying questions, and I have two interesting questions for discussion from Discord channel. So the main part of that stream will be just my reply, my answer on that questions. The questions are really interesting, and I invite you to take part in that stream. You will get new ideas and new information about trading. So if you don't have any questions, I think it's time to have a rest. Thank you very much for taking part in this stream. Thank you very much for your attention. If you are new here, please subscribe to our channel. If you like this stream, please click the like button. If you don't like this stream, please click the like button and dislike button, leave the comment. Thank you very much, Nicholas, for a new question. What do you think about MBT? I hope it is what is it? Crypto market? Or what? Or no, stock market. Let's look at this market, Meyer Burger. I don't have any opinion because I saw it in the first time, but if you have your just trading strategy, it's rather simple to get ideas and possible trading opportunities from this market. Nicholas, I hope I picked the right market, and it is really from stock and from Swiss stock exchange. So if yes, here we talk about the price, which is not far from the local bottom. I guess we talk about this market, right? Because this line, yes, we talk about it, about this market, I guess during 2 or 3 weeks ago. So first of all, we have the support level 0.50. It is the round number level. We can't use it just like only this level. We should use it like a support zone, because in the past we had this fake breakout, and we can use this lower, yeah, the right one. We use let's say 0.45 level as the bottom level of the support zone. We can see the attempt to break below this zone, this support zone, but probably during the next several days you will see the reversal and bouncing from 0.45 level and moving above 0.50. If so, it can be used like a possible buy opportunity, but the market is in the downtrend. It confirmed the downtrend when the price break this support line, uptrend line, and you shouldn't be surprised if the market continued the following, even if it didn't this before. As I can see, this is really solid bottom, as it could stop and reverse the market from the current levels in 2016. It could stop and reverse the market. Yes, 2008, it's not interesting. 2016, the market bounced from that zone, and also we had, let's say, strong bearish trend. It could be used for buying, and the same pattern you can get this time also. It will be possible to buy based on a possible reversal from a strong support zone. It will be the perfect entry zone for buying. Also in 2018 the market bounced from it one more time, three times. Now the market tries to break it again. If you want to get a solid signal for buying, buying based on the current, based on the possible reversal, it won't be solid because still the market will be bearish, and buying here, yes, you can get a good entry level, but the market can continue and fall below, as it looks like fundamental plays against this market. If you want to get solid signals confirming the trend reversal and possible uptrend like it was here, it's better to wait for a breakout at least above this downtrend line. It can be like the first signal for buying, and you can add volume if the price breaks these simple moving averages with different periods, which also just act like trend lines, resistance lines. So when if market can pass these downtrend lines, it will be possible to buy this market based on these breakout signals. You will have good confirmation for possible upward movement, and how long you will take these shares, it will depend on your strategy. So three variants based on the reversal buying, based on the breakout above the downtrend line, and based on the breakout above moving averages with different periods like 50, 100 and 200. That's all. There are no more ideas for this market, sorry. So guys, if there are no questions, thank you very much for your time again. See you Wednesday. I wish you to have a good weekend, not weekend, I wish you to have a good week, profitable week, and just don't forget about proper risk management. We have experience with our with our new members who joined us during the promotion period, who joined our newest trading robot and our copy trading platform, who who dreamed only about profit and do the best and did the best for making tons of money very quickly, who focused only on profit size, and who didn't want to get stable income and expect stable income in the long run. They blew up their capitals. There are not so many people, several of them, but still it makes us sad because we try to do the best for protecting your money, but if some of members want to lose money, and it's really very difficult to help them. So in trading, money management and risk management, it is really probably the most important things you must focus. First of all, not the profit size, but how to manage your risk. Because even if you have a really very solid signal, it doesn't mean that this trade will be profitable. If you really have a very solid and profitable trading strategy, which provided you good results in the past, if you have a really workable and profitable and really solid and cool trading robot which was profitable in the past, it doesn't mean that in the future they won't provide you something like a drawdown. If so, their own money management, it is the perfect way for turning your capital into zero very quickly. So be careful, have a nice week, profitable week. See you soon on this channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new here, and leave a comment about this stream. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye bye.